I'm going to share with you a listening session exercise that we did in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, with this group of people depicted in this group photo. Well, first, let me give you a little background about the LADIA program. This is the Louisiana Discovery, Integration, and Application Program that Robert Twilley, in the upper right photo, the director of Louisiana Sea Grant, is initiating. In many ways, this is modeled after Ian. He was inspired by a series of synthesis blogs that I wrote last year and the surf communication session that a bunch of us, Bill and Heath and Caroline and Alex, participated in at the surf conference. And one of the key people in this program that we're working with is Amy Klipp. She's a New Orleans-based writer who was behind the scenes writing the 2012 master plan as well as the 2007 master plan. And I've gone down to Louisiana now, once with Bill Nuttall and then once again with Tracy. So what we formed are 4 teams of pairing the LADIA scholars, and these are mostly postdocs. I think one's still in grad school, but they're senior graduate level or postdocs, but their degrees are, one's an ecologist, but the rest of them are urban planning and landscape architecture folks. And they're working out of the Louisiana State University Coastal Sustainability Studio, which does a lot of visualization, very Ian-esque. And they're paired in each of these cases with the Marine Extension Program agent. Now, the agents are based outside of Baton Rouge in these different communities throughout the state of coastal Louisiana. So, and in one case, there's a one-to-one pairing with the scholar and the agent, but in one case, the agent, who's in the upper right, is the woman on Twyla, the woman on the right, and then 2 scholars have teamed up, the ecologist on the left and a planner in the middle. And what we did in our listening to stakeholders training session is we prepared a script for each LADIA scholar, and the script contained 3 sections. One, the background on the speaker, and we created these fictional characters to give them some depth, and we read out, what this was about, and then this person was. And then secondly, we created a listening situation. We said, this is what the scene looks like. We then had comments that speaker would make in about 4 or 5 paragraphs, and the actors would read that part, and we actually had them wear a little placard with the name of the fictional character on it. And then the LADIA scholar was asked to repeat what the speaker said, and then we would evaluate as a group, because we'd all heard the script, and we heard then the scholar's interpretation of that, and we could talk about what was missed. And then we had a discussion about how that scholar would respond to that speaker, and then they would actually formulate then a response. And the response was, expected to be respectful and appropriate. So we had 5 characters. We created a government bureaucrat, Roy, and he was talking to the LADIA scholar, Emily. We had a Vietnamese fisherwoman, Sally Dang, talking to Jacob. We had a bait shop owner, Sammy, talking with the ecologist, Liana. We had a local elected official talking to Katrina, and we had the Grand Isle Bank manager talking to Patrick. And each of those 5 parts were played by different people. Amy and I did, who wrote these scripts, did 1 part each. I must say we didn't do nearly as good a job as the actors that played some of those other parts. The highlight was the bait shop owner was played by Rex Caffrey, the director of the Louisiana Sea Grant agents, and he was hilarious, and it was a lot of fun. He really got into the part and threw a Cajun accent at us. So here's what we learned from this, is that it was very engaging, it was on the level of conceptionary. It was a very fun thing to to be part of. I think it was also some good learning. It was like conception, you learn as well as have fun doing it. One of the themes that we saw is that the Laudia scholars really were tracking the facts, and but not really listening to the emotional undercurrent that was going on there, and that was something that really needed to pick up on. And sometimes there were some trigger points in these scripts, it turns out, that really needed to be addressed. And all the rest of it was kind of window dressing, but if you didn't address that one key issue. And it really it needed to acknowledge the concerns of the stakeholders, providing honest and considered responses so that you didn't overpromise or blow off the speaker. I think it's a great exercise and truly interactive. It could be something we could add to our repertoire of training modules. And a couple things I like to do when we do this again is provide scripts to these actors in advance and try to get people really to get into their parts. Develop props for them, like a clip-on tie for the bureaucrat, or a fisherman's hat for the fishing person. And then add notes to the listening scripts, what we're looking for in that interpretation. So identify some of the themes, and then from this process, create some tips and tricks that can help people, guide them into these better listening skills. Really critical part of doing engagement with stakeholders. So and I provide the scripts you can look at and read. And we did actually videotape it, which I don't have access to now. And we've got some evaluations coming forward, so we'll get a chance to see how the students responded to that as well. That's it.